Hi guys, this is the Porsche Taycan 4S and this is the glimmer of hope we've been waiting for as petrolheads, because it means not all is lost when we go into the EV world. So this is the EV I would actually convert to. So let's take a quick stop around the car. Now, as you can tell with the name, the 4S, it has four-wheel drive and 490 brake horsepower. But things don't stop there. When you put it into launch control, it's then going to give us 571 brake horsepower, 650 newton meters of torque, and a 0 to 60 time of just 4 seconds flat. That's pretty impressive. Battery wise, now we have the Performance Battery Plus on this, which means we get a 93 kilowatt hour battery, but only 83 of that usable. But 283 miles range ain't too shabby, and a maximum charging time of 22.5 minutes from 5% to 80. It's nearly as rapid as the car. But something Porsche done a little bit differently in the electric world is a 2-speed gearbox, which is meant to improve efficiency and your pace off the line. Plus, not to worry, you get an 8-year warranty on your battery as well. Tyre-wise, you're going to find Michelin Pilot Sport 4, so plenty of grip for the power. And in terms of stopping, you've got 6 piston brakes on the front and internally vented discs front and rear, so you're not going to have any concerns there. You do kind of expect some safety features as standard, and not to worry, you are going to get things like cruise control, lane assist, brake assist, and your basic parking sensors all as standard. You'll even find a reasonable sized boot which you can fit all of your camera gear in, and even a frunk for the extra space in the front. Now you'll actually find it has 5 doors and 3 surprisingly comfy rear seats, whilst up front there is a 16.8-inch curved display with up to 5 views, traditional Porsche clock, infotainment systems, and a screen for your heating, plus 2 cup holders. Not too shabby. But how much is all of that going to set you back? Well, the Taycan does start at £84,000, and this one behind me is over £100,000 thanks to its array of optional extras. So let's take a look at them. Like already mentioned, the Performance Battery Plus is actually an additional extra because normally you only get the 79 kilowatt hour battery, so you get a big jump up to 93. But that's going to set you back £4,000. An extra $1,500 for the 20-inch Taycan Turbo Aero wheels, $3,000 for the black and crayon two-tone leather, $1,100 for the comfort front seats, which are 14-way electric, $1,100 for the panoramic fixed roof, plus £1,000 for the Bose surround sound, and an extra $1,200 for the onboard 22 kilowatt AC charger. I'm going to be honest, I had high expectations for the Taycan because at the end of the day, even though it is electric, it is still a Porsche, and you expect that whole pedigree to be built into this car. And I was right to have those expectations. Even down to the low driving position, the pedal placement, the steering wheel, it's so involving. And the nice thing, like with any Porsche, you can sit back, you can relax, you have your comfortable seats. But when you're ready to go, you can go. That made me jump. That kickback. Oh, wow. And I think that leads nicely onto the acceleration, because electric cars are quick anyway. They've got high torque. It's instant like that. This is just next level. We've already got 471 horsepower. Now, unfortunately, I have not been blessed with weather, so I don't think I'm going to be able to launch control it because I don't want to go stupid in the wet. We found a dry bit of road whilst the sun's out. Launch control activated. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god! Holy mother! Wow! Jesus. Ooh. The thing is, because there's no ba 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 at the start, it takes a second for your mind and your body to kind of comprehend what is going on. Just the basic, the wheels are hooking up really well. The 4-wheel drive is still kicking in, even though it's wet, even though we've still got nearly 500 horsepower. everything is working in harmony and it is fantastic. And it just takes your breath away. Even 50% of the pedal power, it chucks you back. And that's one thing that I'm still trying to get over a little bit. It's incredible. I have spoken to a few different people at different Porsche garages and they all say how amazing the Taycan is. So that's why I was like, I have to get in one, because now I see why they all rave about it so much. It's an incredible machine. Usually with electric cars, the brake pedal just feels a little bit weird. I think a lot of petrol heads will understand what I mean. It's hard to describe, it just doesn't feel normal. And especially when you're looking at a performance car, braking is so important anyway. This has a really nice feel. Obviously, you've got your first bit of regenerative braking, you've got all of that electric side of things, but as soon as you want to actually extract a lot out of the brake, you're coming up to a roundabout, that side of things. Even though this thing weighs 2.2 tons, it doesn't feel like it, especially on the brakes, because they do stop it dead. It is so impressive. The steering actually feels quite heavy, even at low speeds. So you are moving 2.2 tons. It's kind of expected, but I don't know. I just like the feel of it. It's very engaging, even if it is a little bit on the heavy side. Better roads. So 30 to 60, we'll let this guy get ahead. So 30 to 60. You have that extra kickback, which I'm guessing is that 2-speed gearbox. It doesn't feel any different to an automatic. It really doesn't affect anything, apart from put a massive smile on your face when it does kick in. That is insane. Oh my God. I want to do it again. You have your drive mode selector on your steering wheel and you get 5 different modes. Obviously you get normal, you get individual where you can play around with it, but you get range, which triggers the energy efficient side of things. Like you can't go above 85 miles an hour, not like you can on British roads anyway. Then you have Sport and Sport Plus. Now these actually activate the dynamic performance like launch control. Between just range, normal and sport, you can see your range drop dramatically. So starting in range, we've got 271 miles left with 93%. If we go to normal, it goes down to 263. And if we go to sport, it drops again to 256. Sport Plus does actually drop it again to 249. So there are some big differences there. Obviously, the range mode is doing what it's meant to do, give you more range. Sport mode is doing what it's meant to do, having lots of fun. So it really is a car that is the best of both worlds. Before we do find some nice bends to test out the suspension and handling of this, you do get adaptive air suspension and Porsche's adaptive suspension management system. So you should expect that it's going to do what it's supposed to do. And I think that is a really key thing to mention actually. It's not that bumpy. Obviously there's a bit of shake in the camera, but in terms of comfort, it's so smooth. We found some country roads. It is just so happy under this. If anything, it wants to go harder, it wants to go faster. You can hold it round and bend so easily, and you know the suspension and everything is doing what it should be doing to keep you going around that corner. Change of direction is fantastic. You can feel it loading the outside wheel. It's so easy for it. It really does have that dynamic Porsche approach. When you're trying to shift 2.2 tons very quickly, you need it to be as aerodynamic as possible. Now that is going to help with range as well, and you've got things like your aerodynamic wheels, you've got a full underbody tray, but it also has an adaptive aerodynamics. So you've got adaptive air intake flaps and of course a rear spoiler. That is just incredible. So it really does tie in together comfort, practicality and performance. One reason I am very grateful this one has the reversing camera and 360 is because the rear visibility isn't fantastic. I think especially if you've got 2 people, 3 people in the back, you really aren't going to see anything. So you can become quite reliant on the cameras, but they're very good cameras, so swings and roundabouts. Whilst we've had the Taycan, we have been driving for about 2 hours. It's been a mixture of back roads, some heavy acceleration, towns, etc. So it's a total of 34.6 miles to date, and our consumption is 41.8 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. I normally work in how many miles you get per kilowatt. So I don't know if that's good or not. But in terms of how much battery we've got left, we've got 83% left. And we did start the day with 100%. So that's not too shabby considering how heavy right-footed I've been. You just can't help it in this car. You honestly can't. Unfortunately, I've got to give the Taycan back to Porsche GB cars now, unfortunately. And as I started this video off saying, is the Taycan the one that is going to give us hope as petrol heads for the future of electric cars? And yes it is. It's still amazingly dynamic to drive. The power is incredible. The brakes feel great. The steering feels great. And you've got a smile on your face when you're driving it, whilst being in luxury and comfort. That's a Porsche, isn't it? So there we have it, guys. You all know the drill. To make my journey your journey, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.